Hello there. Welcome to Learn English with Josh. Guess what? I am Josh. That is I. Welcome to this podcast. I am an English teacher. The purpose of this podcast is to help you learn English. Now, there are 4 essential areas, 4 pillars of the English language that you need to build and to make strong. They are reading, writing, speaking, and listening. On this particular podcast, Learn English with Josh, I can't do the reading because that's your job, but you can go to my website, Essencial.com. You will find it in the description, and there are many options for your reading practice. I can't do the writing, that's your job too, but you can go to my website, which you will find in the description, and you will find exercises for you to train your writing. I can't do the speaking, except I am, but you can do the listening. And I am going to make this podcast an essential platform for you to get the listening comprehension practice that you need. I do not, in general, write down what I say. That means I will probably say stupid things. That's okay. I'm human. You're human. I assume you are human. So you make mistakes too. And that's all part of the learning process. And it's a wonderful process. But I will try to make this podcast as interesting and informative as possible. And there was your first grammar moment. Stop, grammar! As interesting as possible. As informative as possible. Look at that. You're learning already. Fantastic. I'm the happiest English teacher on the planet. Now, who is this podcast for? Mostly for me, because I like to talk and I like to transmit and pass on and disseminate information about my language, which I love very much. But in all seriousness, this podcast is not for beginners. This is not for those learners who are opening the book for the first time. This is for learners who have some history with the language. They have some basis, they have some foundation that they have developed that they want to build on top of, that they want to use to move forward. Some of these podcast episodes will be for advanced students. Some will be for intermediate students. But in general, this podcast is for pre-intermediate and intermediate students. I will let you know, I will tell you in the podcast notes, in the description, this podcast is for advanced students. Never exclusively, but specifically for them. All of these podcasts are for everybody. This is a chance for you to practice your listening comprehension. What does real English sound like? Now, I am controlling my voice. I am controlling my language. I am controlling the velocity of my speech. Because if I talk like I'm speaking normally to a friend of mine, it may be a little bit difficult for some of you to understand me before you have really an idea of the sound structure of the language, the grammatical structure, and all the formation of the verbs and all that stuff. So no, I am going to control my speech to make it accessible to you, because your success comes from being able to access the language. At some moments, it will be difficult. You can stop, go back, and listen again. And please, go to my website, go to my YouTube channel, find a way to contact me and let me know what you need. Okay, this is for you. Yes, you who are on the subway train going to work. This is for you who are riding your bicycle with earphones in, and you shouldn't. You should be paying attention to your riding on the street. And this is for you, the mom at home who's making dinner for the family, or the dad who's getting his son ready to go to school and he's driving. And this is for anyone who wants to listen to English. What is my strategy? I will give you an anecdotal example. By anecdotal, I mean this is someone's personal experience. This was an experiment that was done during an English class. The teacher prepared the lesson. There was an easily defined objective for that particular class. And when the students exited the class, when they left that room, researchers asked each student, "What did you learn from that lesson?" And each and every student had a different answer. So, what does that tell me as a teacher? That tells me that unless I am doing one-on-one classes, unless I am having a class with very few students, I will use what I call the scattergun method. And a scattergun is a gun that when you shoot it, it covers a very wide area. And the objective is you shoot it and hope you hit something. I know the gun analogy is terrible, but that's the idea. I'm going to put out as much information as possible, and each and every one of you is going to receive that information in a different way. You're going to process it in a different way. You're going to analyze it and absorb it in a different way. So I cannot dedicate a specific topic to a specific learner for a specific podcast episode. So I'm going to give all of you as much as I can in each episode, and you take away what you can. That way, we're both serving a purpose. I'm giving you as much information as I can, and you're taking away as much information as you are ready and willing to take. And over time, that information accumulates and your English language listening comprehension improves. And that is the purpose of my podcast, Learn English with Josh, me being Josh. And I would like to take 1 second to thank one of the most interesting people I have ever met, my student Miguel, who gave me the incentive. He encouraged me to begin this podcast. Miguel, thank you for your incentive and thank you for your encouragement. So come with me on this journey. I hope you enjoy it. I personally am very excited. So before you go, subscribe to the Learn English with Josh podcast, and you can leave a 5-star review or a 7-star review if you feel like it. I would really appreciate it. I will see you next episode. Bye-bye.